What's up? I'm back. It's Greggatron. How are y'all? I hope you're doing well. So, this is my full Gargoyles collection. And there's more off to the right. I'll get to them. I say my full collection because these are the ones that I want. There's more than this out there, but I didn't really want those. I'll explain. You already got Goliath, right? He was the first one I got from a comic shop a couple years back. Well, they made Thalog, who's basically a clone of Goliath. They look just alike, just Thalog is blue. I'm like, man, I don't need that. But I did get a different one from the video game, and I'll show that off a little later. Alright, so let's get into these for a second. On the left, we have Demona. That's Demon Demona. That's Goliath's love from 1,000 years ago. And she turned out to be super evil, so yeah, that wasn't gonna work. Well, now Goliath has a new woman. The good Elisa Maza. The good detective. I really like their friendship in the animated series. And in the comics, they're actually like lovers. So they dive a little deeper than they could in the cartoon. Because, the cartoon's for kids, but the comic books, they're a little bit more romantic. We'll just put it that way. Alright. And just look at the wings. Look at the texture on the inside and the outside of the wings. That's great. And posing these guys is kind of tough at times, but it's fun. So once you get them right, it's awesome. I wanted these two to look like they're lovers, like they know each other, like they like each other. Kind of got her leg cocked up a little bit. The good cat comes with her, and I think she comes with a gun. But maybe I'll make a separate video on Elisa. Her I got from, it was a Mega Replay. But most of these guys, you can either get them from a Mega Replay, Best Buy, Walmart, comic shops, etc. They come out to be about 35, 40 bucks a piece. Moving on. You all know who Goliath is. Well, let me say this. His wings that are folded, they didn't come this way. The folded wings actually came from Bronx, the dog. So, shout out to Bronx. Hudson, that's my boy. He's my favorite gargoyle. Alright, the old timer with the good sword. Goliath's mentor. He was also the leader at one point, and then he passed the baton over to Goliath. He was always my favorite. You got Angela, that's Goliath's daughter. Goliath and Demona, that is. She looks like Demona, but she's got Goliath's skin color. So, she's definitely a blend of the both of them. Her being blue, him being purple. She's got his hair. But she still looks like Demona. Same build and everything. Alright. And as far as Angela goes in the series, she was on a magical island for the last 1,000 years or whatever. That's why they didn't age. So she was not one of the siblings with these guys. She wasn't included in the Rookery brothers. Not with them anyway. She was like in a different batch. Alright. Now, these guys, These are the boys. These are the boys. Look at the musculature on Lexington. That dude's like 0% body fat. Speaking of fat, from the left, we got Broadway. He's cool. He comes with all kinds of accessories, like a chicken leg, and it might be a turkey leg, actually. He's got sunglasses and some other cool stuff. What I really like about these, obviously the color is different, but let me get low for you. But look at how the colors stand out from one another individually. I love that. I really do. You got Broadway, Lexington, Bronx, the dog. Bronx is a little bit cheaper, and he came with Goliath's wings. And then Brooklyn, the red one. Brooklyn was my second favorite, Hudson being my first. They all had really cool names. They named themselves after New York City because that's where they woke up 1,000 years later in the 1990s. Let me show Brooklyn a little bit. And Brooklyn's supposed to come with some type of spear, but mine didn't for some odd reason. But it's all good. Look at the detail in each one. You gotta appreciate it. You got to. The face expressions. If you didn't know who or what these people were, you'd be afraid of them. I mean, they're terrifying. They really are terrifying. Okay, now let's move over a little bit to these guys. I found a temporary solution to save some space, with the wings. The only problem is Tommy the Green Ranger is still being covered up too much. So this is just temporary. I'll figure something out. What I did, I just turned the Steel Clan robot and Armored Xanatos sideways, cocked their arms out, and got them going back to back. And they're both standing in a blasting position, like they're about to fire. So that's cool, I just talked about Xanatos earlier this evening, so check that video out if you haven't seen it. And the Steel Clan robot is almost identical. Just the color is different and the robots don't have a necklace. I almost didn't get the Steel Clan robot because they're so similar, but in this case, it was one of those things where you kind of have to have both. You really can't have one without the other. Because it's not just a clone, it's actually like a henchman of the bad guy, right? But I like how the silver and the blue distinguish with the Steel Clan. And the red and the black go very well together for Xanatos. So these guys are pretty tough. And in the series, there was like dozens of those things, man. Dozens. Yes. My favorite one is, man, that's tough. Between Hudson and Xanatos, I would say. Because they have a lot going on, both of them do. And I just love the overall look, the appearance. Speaking of Hudson, real quick. Like, Hudson has the good beard. He's got the scar on his eye. Kind of the plump belly. The darker shading colors. Maybe I'm just biased because he's my favorite character, but I mean, come on. This guy comes with a sword. Like, what more do I need to say here? But I really like Lexington's musculature. And even Broadway looks really good too. His color. The belly is fat, but the legs are super detailed. But even the fat stomach is still detailed on this man. And you could kind of say the same thing about Hudson. Get Bronx real quick. Yeah, man. And each figure comes with a second head. So you can interchange. Now, I said I didn't want Thaylog. There are some other characters out there who hopefully they'll make. Like Talon. Who remembers Talon? Talon was Elisa's brother who worked for this organization. I think it was like a medical experiment corporation or something. Well, they were splicing, and he got spliced on accident. So Derek, that's Elisa's brother, he becomes Talon. He's basically like a jaguar slash bat. He's like a flying jaguar. No, he's more like a panther. Yeah. Talon. And then there was this other dude. Well, Brooklyn got with this woman named Maggie. And Maggie was a human who was also spliced. And she was like a cheetah. She kind of looked like Chitara off of not He-Man, but Thundercats a little bit. She'd be good. Cold Stone would be good. And Cold Stone had a girlfriend. Her name was Cold Fire. She'd be good. Now, let me show you my other Goliath. Yeah, so this Goliath I got from a comic shop. And I didn't even know about it. I had no clue what it was. The box is supposed to be for the Nintendo. I want to say one of those old Nintendo. Oh, Sega Genesis, I believe. And back in the day, apparently, there was a video game for Gargoyles, which I never played, but this is supposed to be it. I might make a separate video just on this one, just to be fair. It looks just like the other Goliath, but the color is totally different. It looks like he could be covered in stone, but he's not. This is how he actually looked in the game. So anybody out there who's played the game, give me a shout, because I want to hear all about it. As you can see, the belt's different. And this Goliath comes with the folded wings. So you don't have to worry about getting the wings elsewhere. They should have all came with wings that fold. And that's one thing I'll say. I didn't want to get Xanatos because I already had, the armored Xanatos. The only thing is, if you get Xanatos, I believe he comes with someone else's wings. Yeah. Elisa comes with Brooklyn's wings. And Xanatos comes, if I'm not mistaken, either Demona or Angela or possibly Broadway. He comes with somebody's wings. That's why they encourage you to get the humans, because you get that little benefit. Granted, they kind of should have been in there in the first place. You're paying, $40. So yeah, I like the box. I just don't want to open it because I don't know what I'd do with it. Official Neca, seal of quality. Yeah. So that's that. Bam. Rule the night. It looks like a video game. Sheesh. Yikes. Very cool. Very cool stuff. You betcha. So that's the conclusion of my video. I hope you guys liked it. I probably won't get any more of these unless they come out with Talon or any of the other people I mentioned. That, and I'm running out of room, as you can see. These guys are standing on my DVDs. And it's cool because the DVD shelves look like towers. So like they're on the castle or whatever. I really love Gargoyles. They were one of my favorites as far as shows goes. Just probably my second favorite show behind Batman the Animated Series. Like I like this show more than I liked X-Men and Spider-Man. Like that's how special these guys were. More than X-Men. I mean, that says a lot. And more than Spider-Man, that's where I found out about Venom, you know. But this show really was special. Shout out to Greg Weisman. Shout out to Disney for being so solid back then, going that extra leap of faith, and just dropping a classic. Because that's what this show is. You might be able to find it on Disney Plus, I'm not sure. But we'll talk about it in the comment section. All right. Thank you for watching, and peace.